move it off screen. Let's see, music is playing. Let me do a couple more things. All right, I'm just going to give people a couple seconds to filter in. Hello, Pedro. How's it going? Good evening. Okay, so perhaps it's time to get started on this design. I think I have finally sort of settled on a design aesthetic. It took me a while. I went through many rounds of design aesthetics, and we can revisit some of the old ones. So this was me trying to figure out how to fit all these disparate elements into this grid and make it responsive. And what I figured out was there was no way it was fitting in with the parameters that I wanted. I was basically just ending up with these weird areas of like empty space. And it was not, I was also foreseeing that it was going to be really hard to make it work on different screen sizes. And then my friend Gabby, who is a brilliant designer, suggested that why do you need to worry about white space? Maybe you could just embrace it. And so then that kind of like set off the light bulb in my head where I had this idea of things could just be more floating. And then of course that led to the idea of like windows on a desktop screen from an old computer aesthetic, which are very allow for a lot of white space, allow for like uneven window sizes. It allows for stuff to just kind of be a little bit randomly placed and a little bit of a looser layout. So that's what's speaking to me the most right now. So that's what I'm going to go with. And my goal today is going to be to try to get this design to a point where I can start coding. I don't think it's going to be completely finished because there's a lot of spots still that I'm not sure what the content is going to be, and until you have the content, it's really hard to actually start making a design for it. But I'm going to at least try to design a couple of the main pages and then get some of the components worked out. And then maybe next week I'll start pulling up a skeleton to code from. So with that said, I'm just going to jump right into it. And I have been working on this project for a long time, so I'm, not giving all the background, but let me know if you have any questions. Happy to answer, happy to chat. Throw any questions in the chat. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm gonna start working on this one a little bit. I have a few modifications to make to it. First of all, I think I want to try making the post-it notes pop a little bit more. So right now they're supposed to be like stacks of these post-it notes that you kind of put on your desktop. And I like that aesthetic. I think I really like the idea of it, but I want to give it a little bit more differentiation. So what I'm going to do is pull this out here and try to make a component out of it so that I can just paste stuff in it later. And I'm wondering if I should pull the text out too. No, I'll just duplicate this and pull it out. Interesting. Why is it not duplicating? Because I'm not using the right keyboard shortcut. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm going to try making the drop shadow a little more obvious on this, and it also might help to have some visual inspiration. I'm going to see if I can find... what am I looking for? I want to open a new window over here. And I want to see if I can find an example of one of the things that I'm looking for. So like Windows Post-it notes. Images. Okay, these look like far too modern. I want the vintage, I want the retro ones. These are all from like Windows 10, which is far too nice looking. Because the aesthetic I'm going for is definitely like the Windows 95 era. So maybe we have to say Windows sticky notes, Windows 95, you want to say. Oh, apparently they looked very different back in Windows 95. I didn't know they looked like this. I don't know if I want them to be that bad. I still want them to look like sticky notes. I want them to look like this. That's more what I'm going for here. I think I'm looking for like the pulled up corner effect, like this a little bit. Maybe it's more like the Windows XP era. Oh, is that Danielle? Danielle Navarro. If it is, hello. Hi, Danielle. What time is it in Australia right now? It must be like relatively late, I'm assuming, or early. I don't know. I have no concept of time. It's basically like 12 hours difference from me, I think. Okay, these are all terrible visual inspiration. This is a little bit better. This is what I like. I want something that looks like that. But I remember when I used to use Windows XP, I had this thing on my desktop that, maybe I'm just remembering it wrong, but I remember it looking different than this. Not Danielle. Okay, well, Daniel R. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. Very happy to have you here. Yeah, I was not sure. I thought it was Danielle for a second, and then I was like, wait, but it's got to be some weird time in Australia. So I did think that was odd. Okay, so I guess this is what they look like on old computers, but I think I want them to have like the corner peeled up. So let's see if I can find anything that looks like that, or if I'm just going to have to make it up on my own. I might just have to make it up on my own, which is okay. I want that look. But I also have to make sure it's something. It would be really amazing, Danielle and Will in a stream. Hopefully someday. Yeah, maybe someday. I don't know if Danielle streams. I know that she does a lot of like YouTube videos. Like I know she uploads generative art stuff to her YouTube a lot, which is pretty cool. But I don't know if she streams. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go in here and just start adding some points. Midnight in Europe now. I think it's like 9:30 in Adelaide. Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, I'm terrible at times. I have missed meetings before because I didn't understand time zones. I have scheduled stuff at like 2 a.m. for myself because I didn't understand time zones. So I really appreciate that modern computers, like modern scheduling apps, like Google Calendar and all, do that for you. But then at the same time, I have come to rely on it a little bit, I guess. Okay, what am I trying to do here? So I feel like I want to pull in the corner here. Yeah, like that, I think. But I'll want to add some points like here and maybe here. So if I do that and then I start to pull in the corner, what does it look like? I guess this isn't exactly a square, so it's going to look a little odd. What I'm trying to do is like what I did here, and I think the best way to do this is probably, instead of trying to manipulate this, is probably just to draw it with the pen tool and see what happens. I'm not very good at like Figma paths and pens and stuff. This is not my specialty in any way, shape, or form, so I apologize. Okay, so that's sort of the outline that I want. And then, God, I wonder if I can make, I think I can add corner radius only to these. Does that do anything? That doesn't do anything, does it? No. I know there's a way to do this that I don't know about. Because like if I add the corner radius here, does it do anything? Yeah, it does something there. But I guess it's not easy to do it here. Oops. Okay, we'll just leave it like this for now. Oh, hello Matthias, how's it going? Good evening to you as well. Bill? I think this is the right color for post-its. Is this the right color for post-its? I think it is. Anyone following GameStop? What's happening with GameStop right now? It's pretty funny, I think, actually. I'm kind of enjoying watching it. Okay, now I have to figure out, I really should have like, maybe this needs to be two separate polygons so that I can make them separate colors, because I don't know if I can actually, I don't know how to make these. I think like if I change these, it's going to change the whole thing, because this is all one polygon. Yeah, having so much fun watching hedge funds cry over how they're losing the game they set up. Yeah, I know, it's really, there's like, it's total like Schadenfreude, right? And I think Matthias is actually German, so maybe I'm using that word incorrectly, but that's how I feel as well. Yeah. So if I delete that, this might actually let me, yeah, so much Schadenfreude. Yeah, it's like, it's really, really fun to watch, I have to say. I am enjoying it more than I probably should be. Plus I have like, I bought like 5, I'm not gonna get rich off of GameStop. I bought like 5 shares, full disclosure. But it's just fun to watch it, watch the ride. So, you know, maybe I'm still holding, I'm not giving up. It's like on principle at this point, because now I'm just basically like, I could have sold today when it was, you know, like $400 or something. But I was like, now it's a matter of principle. Like, let's stick it to these hedge funds. Okay. Whoops, I don't want that to be 10. Interesting. How will I get this to match? I don't know if it's actually possible to get that to match. I mean, I don't really need this to be... don't really need this to be have a stroke even. It should just have a fill. And that fill should be this, but it should be slightly lighter. Ah, now that's a post-it. Sort of. Need some work still. You're like 85? That's too much. 83? 82? 84. Yeah, I just think it's all really funny to watch. Interesting. How will I make this? Ah, wait. I wonder if I duplicate this. I'm trying something. You can see how good I am at Figma by how much I'm failing at this right now. Okay, I just made a triangle. I did the exact same thing. But I think it's a triangle that's more in the right location than the other one was, which is why I wanted to do that. God, I really don't know how to make this curve in the right direction. I'm really suffering here with this pen tool. If I give it a curve of like 1, I guess that fits better. It sort of fits. At least it doesn't stick out as much. We can just try that. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna make this hidden. It doesn't look perfect. Like, this is gonna go behind this in the layers anyways, so... wait, no, it needs to go above it, actually. I was wrong about that. This is trickier than I thought. Maybe I have to make the stroke on this outside. Okay. I don't think it's going to be perfect without me like sub-pixeling this, which I don't, like, I really don't want to do. So I'm just gonna leave it. We can call it done for now. We can see if we can make it better when I actually do the version online. And if not, we can always go with a simpler design. I think I'll just stick with this for now. But I do want to see if I can give this like a slight gradient, perhaps. Now I'm just going to play around a little bit. I'm clearly not good at doing gradients. I'll have to try this again. We'll leave it at that for now. That's an appropriate looking sticky note. But it is missing the drop shadow, so we need to add a drop shadow here. Okay. I like this actually to be like a little sharper, and then I guess the blur of 4 is nice. We'll leave it at that. That looks sufficiently Windows, old Windowsy, correct? Oops. So now we have this one, and what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to group all this text because I just want it to stay together for a sec. I'm just going to bring this out here. So I'm going to put one of these in here, and I'm actually going to shrink it down a bit. And I wonder if I can make these like, I should make them like this. So you can see the different layers of them. Cool. Yeah, I like it. Now perhaps it's time to finesse this text a little bit and decide if this is really going to be the right style. Ah, thank you. Daniel likes it. I still like all the fonts we're using. So we're using this font called Editorial New for the titles. And it's a really nice font. It's made by the foundry Pangram, which is a really cool foundry. They release all their fonts are actually free to use for personal projects, which who knows, this may end up being a personal project. But this is a really nice font. It's like a condensed Garamond font, which was used in all these old computer advertisements. So I think it looks pretty cool here. And then we got classic Helvetica, which is very like default system font, and Pitch is the font for the quotes. So I feel like I want this to be slightly bigger. To be like 40. The issue I am worried about running into if it's bigger is that like some of the episode titles are short, like Diversity Day. And then some of them are super long, like what's a really long title? Like Dunder Mifflin Infinity Part 1. So I mean, obviously that's going to have to wrap to a new line. And then in some cases, there might be like, this text might go really long if it's like a really long quote or a really long explanation, and it might overflow. And then you'd have to like scroll within the post-it note, which would be kind of annoying. I don't think it's too big though. I think it's like an appropriate size. Make that 4 pixels. I'm basically working off of like a 4 pixel grid too, for the minor adjustments. So I'm trying to, as much as I can, I'm trying to really stay within 4 sizes for everything. So I'm actually going to adjust this style to be 40. I like it to have a little bit more margin between here and the edge. Margins right now are 22. Is 22 a multiple of 4? No, right? 4 times 5, 20 is a multiple of 4. Thank you for helping me with the math. I actually really appreciate it. It's a little close. It's a little tight on the side, these margins. Like 20 is pretty close, but that kind of fits because, like, you know, that's like old computers had these very small margins. Streamer math, yeah. I should honestly just, well, okay, so here's a hot Figma tip for you. You can tell because you can do calculations up here. So I could be like 22 divided by 4, and it would tell me that it's 5.5, and then I would know that it's not divisible by 4. Aha. So I've got a calculator built into Figma. This is a multiple of 4, which is nice. This is also a multiple of 4. Wow, I'm so smart. I just made these all multiples of 4. Look at that. But we definitely want to make this one of the styles. What do you think? I think it needs to be 24, not 20, this one. Yeah. Cool. I'll make this 12 away from here. That seems good. 'Interesting. That's probably, 12 is probably too small to read. Ooh. Yeah, Matthias asked, do I know how I'm going to bring this online? Oh, do I ever? I think we're going to break the rule here and call this 14. Yeah, so it's a good question. How am I going to bring this online? Well, the current plan is it's going to be a Svelte app, which I'm sure Matthias will be very excited about. So I am pretty new to Svelte, but I started learning it this year. I guess last year, because it's now 2021, but started learning it recently, and I'm going to try to use it. Yeah. I think my opinion on Svelte so far is I'm very old school. Like, I'm very, very low tech when it comes to web development and web stack. So, you know, a lot of my projects are actually just like an HTML file, a JavaScript file, and a CSS file, and I call it a day, and I think it's great. And I feel like this is sort of the project where I could go that low tech because it's probably not going to be that complicated, but I'm enjoying using Svelte. And so there's still some parts of it that are just like inherent to a framework, like passing data between components. Sometimes I get lost in that process and annoyed with it. But I feel like of all the web frameworks, modern web frameworks, Svelte is definitely like far and away my favorite. So yeah, I'm going to force myself to use it because it'll help me learn Svelte better, I think. So I'm hopefully going to get started on that next week, and maybe Matthias will have to come help me at some point because he's really, really good at Svelte. So maybe we'll have to have a co-stream at some point where Matthias will coach me through using Svelte. Maybe I can have this at 16 and then we keep our hierarchy. It's kind of nice. Yeah, 16 is not bad for that. This does have to be 14 because we can also have down here ooh, nice. You'd be doing me a favor because I will take all the help I can get when it comes to coding. I'm like I really like making stuff, and I like seeing stuff made, and I like the feeling of like producing something and overcoming that challenge and like bringing something to life. But to be honest, I'm not like, I don't get any thrill out of engineering. I don't get any thrill out of like writing really elegant code or anything like that. I'm just not one of those people. So I'm usually like a make it work and get it done kind of coder. And so I always welcome any help I can get when it comes to coding. I would love for other people just to write my code for me, actually. Okay, let's call that a day on the text. I think it looks fine to me now. Could probably use like a little more, I think like a little more hierarchy, but I can finesse that later. I think it's okay as it is right now. What I do want to do is sort of fix this timeline. I want to give this a little bit of love. I'm just going to pull this out of here for the time being. By the way, for anybody wondering, this is a duplicate of this, which I should just make a component out of. So voila, there's a component. This is kind of cool in Figma. I made this thing that's like actually responsive, so I can make this like way bigger or way smaller, and you can see all these borders and all these things remain the same. It's really just using primarily constraints to achieve that effect, but really nice stuff you can do in Figma. So Figma is great for designing responsive things, even if that is not my forte. I want to use this blue color that was used in the, again, classic Windows 95. Let's see, Windows 95, and it's going to come up, yeah, this color. You can see that I have the classic clouds background is my background here. But let's just steal this color. I'm going to use Color Slurp, which is my favorite picker. And it makes this funny noise when you do that, which is kind of fun. Oh, what did I think of RStudio conference? Now you're going to embarrass me because I didn't actually watch RStudio conference yet. I could have caught it. So here's what happened. RStudio Conf happened in a very like busy time during the day for me. So basically, like the 2 days that RStudio Conf was on, I was registered. And I was looking forward to it, but then I just got super busy with work, so I couldn't do it during the day. And then I was basically exhausted at night, and so I was like, well, tonight I'm gonna just watch TV and, you know, eat some food instead of watching RStudio conference. So I haven't seen any of the talks yet, but I'm hoping to catch them later. I know all the videos will be online. I was just lazy and a slacker, and I didn't feel like it this year. But I will definitely catch them later. Let me know if there's any like really good talks I should catch. Oh, they're online already? Wow, I totally missed that. That's really cool. They're fast. Damn. Okay, I have no excuse then. I think that means this weekend I gotta watch some. So if you want to really put me on the spot, come back next week to my stream and be like, so did you finally listen to all those things that you said you were going to listen to? Because there's a good chance I will not have done that. So, but I'm going to try. I promise. I'm really going to try. Okay. What I want to do is I made these little paper icons that are going to be the different shows, and I'm going to drag them. So I'm going to do, here's what you do in Figma. Why is it giving me 0.5 nudge? That's so weird. Hold on. Oh, maybe it's because this thing has a width of 13.5. Okay, I'm just gonna make it 13 and it's gonna look a little squished and weird, but like that was weird. Okay, so here's a cool thing in Figma. You want to duplicate a bunch of items across in a pattern. You press Alt, so hold Alt. If you're on a Mac, at least you hold Alt, and you drag to duplicate once. And then if you just do Control D for duplicate again, it'll smart duplicate everything over like this. Wow, look at that, amazing. Isn't that so cool? I love Figma. Nice. Then we get to go through and do stuff like this. And I'm not going to be super accurate about this. I'm just going to kind of fudge it a little bit and call it a day. So, apparently Allison Horse Talk was really good. Oh yeah, Allison is, I mean, she's amazing, of course. Like, she's just one of the coolest people. I have no doubt that her talk was really good. I'll definitely catch that. And yeah, Cedric, Cedric's gonna be talking at Outlier. That's gonna be really cool. Actually, he sent me an email, and of course, the same way that I didn't watch RStudioConf because I'm, oops, don't do that. The same way that I didn't watch RStudioConf because I'm a slacker, I didn't respond to Cedric's email, which I feel really bad about. He emailed me asking if I had any like ggplot wizard tips, and the truth is I didn't. I was like, I don't know. When I use ggplot, I just do like random crap. I use it. I feel like I use it very basically. Like I couldn't think of anything that was like, wow, this one tip that will blow your mind. And maybe he was just looking for something simpler, and it didn't need to be the one tip that would like go crazy. And I overthought it, and then I just didn't send him anything. But I think his talk is going to be really cool because he emailed lots of really cool, smart ggplot people and asked them for their like best tips and tricks on making ggplot, like working with ggplot. And so I think it's going to be a really cool talk. I'd highly recommend it at Outlier Conference, which is sometime soon, I think. Outlier is like next week sometime? No. Yeah, it's like the end of next week, I think. Yeah, because I'm doing a panel at the Unconf. Not a panel. I'm doing like a Q&A or some kind of talking thing at the Unconf. 4th, 5th, 7th of February. That sounds right. Because I'm pretty sure 7th of February is the Unconf, and that's when I'm talking about something. So I mentioned at the very beginning of this stream my friend Gabby, who was the one who sort of gave me like the inspiration for this design with all the windows and the stuff. So Gabby and I are going to be participating in the Unconf. We're going to be doing like some kind of, I forget what they called it. It's like a game. It's like some questions, and it's like the Newlyweds game if you ever watched that. So like I think they ask us each like 3 questions about Dataviz, like, oh, what would you think what would your partner say is their favorite chart type, or like their favorite color or something, and then the other person answers, like guesses what they think it would be. So Gabby and I are going to be doing that during the Unconf. So if you want to find out what my favorite color is, according to Gabby, then you can come to the Unconf. And for anyone that doesn't know, this is Gabby. You should definitely go check out her work. She is an incredible designer, does all kinds of editorial design, branding design, data viz, art direction, graphic design. I mean, she's become really popular on Instagram recently, known for these collage style visualizations. She does a lot of work around like social justice and environmental causes and stuff like that. So you should definitely go check her out. Her work is incredible, super inspiring. I mean, just look at this. Gorgeous, right? And Gabby and I are both people that like to talk a lot, so we will like get on a call together, and we'll just kind of like 3 hours later we're still chatting and we have no idea what's happened, like where the time has gone. So we warned them at Outlier when they asked to do this. So it was like, okay, we may they were like, oh, this will only take 20 minutes or something, and like, well, we'll see about that. I mean, I'm not sure, but 20 minutes may not be long enough. Okay, I think this is looking okay. I'm fine with this now. I'm gonna move on, is what I'm saying. So probably use the same background. Let's get rid of all this, get rid of this. And now what I'm gonna call this is like main visual hero. So now I want to design the hero a little bit. I had this idea originally to have the hero having these various papers pop up and stack up. And it's sort of the same idea that I have with these post-its, where you see how they're like regularly spaced. You know, when you like on an old computer, when you would, I mean, maybe even still on your new computer if it's not very powerful, but basically on like a really sucky computer, when you drag the windows and it like the computer freezes and then it's like and it drags like that. That was the whole inspiration for like the original hero design, which was going to have all these little like papers popping up, like stacking up like that. And I think that might kind of work. That might work still with the new design. So I'm going to give it a try. It also has to say Michael's misquotes. I still don't know what the title for this project is, by the way. You know, I kind of just like it in Helvetica. Like, I was gonna make it, wait, American typewriter, okay. It was gonna be American typewriter originally, because this is what, well, you know, actually I like this too. It looks so, like, it looks so perfectly, like, ugly and weird on this stupid cloud background. Which I think is really perfect. I also do like Helvetica because, again, it just looks so like, it just looks so default in such an awful, horrible way, which I love. I don't know. If only I had a poll bot, I could run a poll of like which one is better. They're both still options. We'll just leave this one up here, and right now we'll go for this one. So this was my like running title for this project, was Michael's misquotes. I don't know if that's the right title. Like, honestly I have no idea what to call this project. This was a very, very, very early mock-up, or like not even a mock-up. This was just an inspiration that I made when I was thinking of like what to call this. And I was like, oh, it's Michael's. And then it's like, he has misquotes, malapropisms. That's one of the types of errors he makes, mixed metaphors, mispronunciations. And the idea was it was like a drop-down list, which I thought was kind of funny. Because I couldn't decide like which one of these, and they were all starting with M. So I was like, ooh, this is like a alliteration thing. And it was going to be really funny. I don't know though. It's like botched phrases, misquotes, who can decide? For now, we're going to call it misquotes just because that's like the running title, and I'm not going to get hung up on it for too long. So the big question is, do we want to have stacked papers, or do we want to have stacked post-it notes? Big question. So if we had stacked papers, what would it look like? It would look like that. I do like the papers idea because it's like the office, you know, it's paper. I also like the post-its idea. We could also have both. There's no reason we can't have both. And if we do have the post-its, we could also have them sort of posted like, I do like the post-its idea because they could be like off kilter and they could have the actual quotes on them. Let's try that out as well. Maybe I can just make this a little smaller. Oh no, what happened to the other little part of this one? Why did it go away? Johanna says it looks so much like The Office. Yeah. That is a good sign. That was the goal for this visual. I'm really glad you said that because above all, I was like, I want this to feel like The Office somehow. I want this to evoke, you know, evoke that emotion. You open it up and you're like, that's The Office. I know what this project is about. Let me think of a misquote to put here. Oh, I have to match the rotation of this to the rotation of this. Interesting. And what should the font here be? Maybe it should just be Helvetica. Yeah, is anybody else, by the way, going to Outlier? I know Matthias said he was going to be going to Outlier. I'm definitely going to be attending as much as I can. I think there's some really, really cool talks. I am definitely looking forward to some talks on accessibility. That sounds really cool. I know that Frank, what's his face? I'm sorry, I can't remember. Frank, I'm sorry, I can't remember your last name. But he's doing a talk with somebody on accessibility, which I think is going to be really, really good. I should look this up because it's very rude to just say, like, I don't know who these people are. Let me look up who the actual speakers are. agenda. Okay, I guess I have not registered yet. Oh, I know who Frank. Yeah, Frank Elavsky. Frank is talking with Sarah, I think. Sarah Fossheim, who's really, really cool web developer, CSS person, awesome human. Oh, Kelsey is talking. Oh my god, that's so, so cool. Okay, Kelsey Campbell is a really cool person. She's a data scientist, and she is the founder of Gata Science, which is a site devoted to highlighting the LGBTQ plus experience using data science and analytics. Yeah, Kelsey has done some really, really cool work. I've followed her for many years. I really love her stuff. Also looking forward to this talk. Mick is somebody who I just learned about recently because I think he works, or he joined recently, Continentalist, which is a sort of independent like journalism data story outlet out of Singapore. So if you're into data journalism, they've been doing some really cool stories, and I highly recommend it. Oh yeah, Miriam and Duncan are going to be talking about loud numbers, which is really cool. If you guys don't know about loud numbers, please go check out Loud Numbers on Twitter. This is a really cool project from my friend Duncan and Miriam Quick, who's an amazing researcher and Dataviz person. It's a data sonification podcast that they are developing. It's going to be coming out this year sometime, I think. And the early stuff that I've heard from it is awesome. It's very like, traditional data sonification is like you just map the tones or something to the data, and it's like beep boop boop beep, and it's kind of boring and like honestly, in my opinion, unhelpful. But what Miriam and Duncan have done is thought, what if we made data into music that was actually not just enjoyable, like did not just give a sense of the data, but was actually enjoyable to listen to, like something you might actually want to sit down and listen to instead of just random beeps and boops. So that talk is going to be really cool. Yeah, Pedro, highly recommend this conference. It's going to be amazing. The speaker lineup is super diverse, a lot of new, fresh faces, a lot of people that we haven't heard from. So I'm really, really excited about this conference. Reva Quiroga is talking. Okay, this is really cool. And of course, RJ is going to talk about Florence Nightingale. That's going to be cool. Yeah, Sarah is the other person giving the talk with Frank about accessibility and data visualizations. I really like these talks. I really like the sound of these talks. I really like these speakers. Valentina, love her stuff. And I'm really excited to meet so many new people. I don't know a lot of these people, and I think that's a great thing, because I think a lot of DataViz conferences are they have sort of the same speakers, the same people over and over again, and those people are all amazing, and that's why they get asked to speak. But I'm really, really happy to see a lot of new, fresh faces here. I think this is going to be a really exciting conference. Yeah, really excited about this. Oh, this is so cool. Guillermina is talking. I know her from Twitter. Definitely is going to be a good talk. EJ is giving a talk. There's Duncan. Craig Taylor, he does these amazing geospatial visualizations. This is going to be amazing, I can already tell you, just because you could just like look at them. He doesn't even need to talk. You could just look at his visualizations and you'll be blown away. Cedric's giving a talk. Yeah, very excited to see all these talks. So highly recommend Outlier Conference. Check it out, get your tickets. It's happening next week. So, okay, back to the design, I promise. I will not get sidetracked. What's another classic Michael Scott misquote? Maybe I should go to my data sheet. Every time I open this, I just laugh at these. I don't know like which ones to put here, but some of these I just think are really stupid and funny. So I'm gonna put them. Oh, this is a classic. Oh, I know which one I should find. I should find the one from I should find the one from the Christmas party, but which one? Oh, Secret Santa. There we go. Classic. Okay, that doesn't fit. Scratch that. we are back to looking for other quotes. This is a great use of my time. How about this one? This is a good one. Nice. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, so I mean, this is a very simplistic hero. I think I will probably add a little bit more description and maybe some prompts to this. So something like, how could this project be summed up in a few words? Like an exploration of the I don't know. Psycholinguistics. Oh, thanks so much for hanging around, Daniel. Really great to have you here. Thanks. Hope you join next time. 1 a.m. Definitely go to bed. Sleep well. The other thing I wanted to do This will probably change, by the way. Also, these should be centered. Well, this should be centered. This should be centered. Okay. And this should probably be center aligned. Another thing that I wanted to do was have what was I gonna say? And that thought has completely lost my mind. Yeah, I completely forget what I was gonna say. That's okay. Yeah, so I need a little prompt to tell you to scroll. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I also, yes, I wanted to have some little icons perhaps on here that you, like the type of icons that you would have like on your desktop, right? So on Windows 95, of course, I mean on any desktop, you have these, your little icons. So I thought it would be fun to sort of hide some Easter eggs for fans of The Office in here. Things like perhaps, I don't know, just little inside jokes from The Office, but little icons like this. You know, like maybe one could be Sprinkles, like Angela's cat. I don't know if there's a good little PNG of Sprinkles that I can steal. Easter eggs on the icon. Oh, so Easter eggs means like little inside jokes, right? So little inside jokes from The Office. So I thought like I would have some little icons, like for example, oh, it's gonna take too long to cut this out. I wish they had an image that was like Sprinkles, but with a transparent background, which I realize is a ridiculous thing to ask for, but let's just try to copy and paste this. Yeah. So something like this, and then down here you'd have like sprinkles.jpg, except it would be, it would be like, and I'd probably try to pixelate it a little bit or something. Maybe I probably need to make this a different font. I need to make this a better font like that. But something like this, and then like if you actually click on it, it would open up some, I don't know, some little clip from the show or something funny for people to explore. Basically something for people to, like a little extra layer for people to interact with. I thought that would be fun. And maybe they relate to like something that's actually in the data or something about the show itself. That might be better. So I'll explore that option as well. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I think I like this hero. I think it's coming together well. I think it needs some more stuff. Like, I think I definitely need a scroll indicator for one. Let's bring a little one of these guys over here. How can I make this interesting? How can I make the inside of this white? That's what I really want to do, but this is an image. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Because I don't really want to make the whole background of this thing white. I just want to make the inside of it white or gray or something. Well, if I was in Photoshop, I could do that. but I'm not, and I'm also not good at using Photoshop, so for now it's just going to stay transparent. But in actuality, I will make it white on the inside before I do this project. This might need some extra embellishment as well. This might need some like really tacky sparkles and stuff. Like I'm gonna go back to my Windows 95 and look at what kind of Solitaire would be a fun one to include in there. You know, Solitaire, like on The Office, they're always playing Solitaire. I wonder if there's a way I could somehow sneak that into there. Ooh, this is such a good vintage image of the Google page. Wow, I love that. God, I also miss when Google looked like this. I'm showing my age now, getting nostalgic for the good old days. The internet. Yeah, like I need this. I think I need this font to make the icons play as real. Like I think they don't look very real unless I use this kind of bitmap font. I do actually have a font that's kind of like this. Let me see. I think I have a font, another font from Pangram. Pangram released 2 bitmap fonts that are really cool. Wait, what is it? Oh God, what is that one called? Newer bit. Aha! Gotcha. There you go. Doesn't that look good? Yeah. And maybe this is also going to be newer bit. Wow, that's a really small font. Also, this hand is way too big. I guess I'm thinking this still needs some more stuff. Like it still needs some more, I don't know, like some emojis or some papers. Maybe it needs these papers to come in here. Maybe this is what it needs. Maybe it just needs some desktop icons like I was thinking. Or maybe I'm just looking for extra stuff to put on there. But I think I'm pretty happy with how this is coming along. I think I'm gonna sign off for now, but I'm gonna say this is like the direction we're going, is this sort of post-its, Windows 95 aesthetic. I will probably spruce this up a little bit, just add some of those final details like I was mentioning before next time. And then I think next time I'm gonna focus on coding. I'm gonna try to get a project skeleton up and running. I'm gonna try to get these, I'm going to see if I can just sort of get the metadata and the quotes like rendering on the screen. And yeah, maybe we'll kind of come up with a list of like engineering to-dos. I also still need to do a lot of stuff. I still need to write the front matter for this. There's going to be, like before this whole main visual comes up, there's going to be a whole story-based section. And I still need to write all that story and come up with the visuals for it. I haven't done any of that yet. There still needs to be an about page, there needs to be end material, there needs to be all kinds of stuff. But I think it's good to just kind of jump into the code and start like making something. I'm at that point where I feel like something needs to start working. And I realize that by saying that I'm jinxing myself and it probably won't work when I try it next week. But we will try. You guys can watch me muddle through the code. It'll be very embarrassing, but I will do my best. So thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out. I will see you guys next week at the same time. Bye-bye.